A new journey, taking his talents to 2 more stops after leaving Golden State. Kevin Durant's career, outside of Steph Curry and the Finals MVPs, hasn't been the smoothest of rides. Misfortunes, failed star teammates, millions of other distractions dealt with, whether it's him lashing out through Twitter on a Tuesday morning, other players on his roster out for non-injury reasons, or his big toe just a size too long, a Game 7 loss that changed the course of many legacies, something he might never recover from. 2 years after, still hasn't gotten past round 2 after his departure with Golden State. Since 2019, Durant's played a total 12 minutes after the semis over the last 5 seasons. Doesn't look like his Suns will make it past that. If they end up having to play the Nuggets again, KD might be one of the 10 most talented humans to ever pick up a basketball, on verge of truly cementing himself as the best player in the game 2019, only for Kawhi Leonard and teammate Steph Curry to take that shine from him. After being under LeBron's shadow, all the decisions, unfortunate freak injuries, trade demands, leadership issues, when you go through an all-time great's career, Elgin Baylor and Jerry West suffered too many finals defeats to the hands of the great Bill Russell, the 70s cocaine era, Star's career cut too short, the many superstars of the 80s overshadowed by Magic and Bird. Many greats in the 90s would have been considered true all-time greats if they didn't bump into Michael Jordan. The 2000 Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns would have accelerated the league style of play faster. Both those teams could have won multiple titles, still ringless to this day. Looking at the super intriguing and polarizing career of Kevin Durant, truly one of the most unique players, rare handles, crossover, and automatic bucket, king on one-on-one scoring at 6'10", moves like he's 5'10". In the era of super teams and player empowerment, no great has been more disrespected and scrutinized for their decisions than the 35-year-old future Hall of Famer. Being mentioned in the same sentence as LeBron, starting in year 3, the 21-year-old became the youngest scoring champ, leading a relocation franchise to prominence. Already considered a consensus top 3 player by 22, could have been the youngest MVP, finishing second behind LeBron 3 times. Leading his franchise to the finals by 23 after beating Red Hot San Antonio 4 straight. Many sportsbooks actually had OKC favorites to beat Miami. Won game 1 with home court, lost a nail-biting second game, a controversial no call, easily could have been a foul. Down 2, Scott Brooks failed adjustments to Miami's hot shooting, and an ineffective Kendrick Perkins, useless for the series, could have started Harden to match Miami's small ball, simply outcoached. Team traded away a future MVP due to not willing to pay the luxury tax. The Big Three were destined to be the next big dynasty, should have been what Golden State became, followed by 60-win season, looked every bit as strong without the beard, but lost Westbrook due to injury, overwhelmed round 2 to Memphis without help, proceeded to win his first and only MVP, masterful 2014 season, gave one of the best speeches the game will ever see, but after dealing with heavy adversity, his small market media even had the audacity to call him Mr. Unreliable, a haymaker thrown by the Oklahomian. After down 3-2 to Memphis, the MVP proceeded to score 36 and 33 points, winning both in convincing fashion. Before falling to San Antonio, future still bright until the Jones fracture, played just 27 games. Since then, only made first team All-NBA once each of the last 9 possible seasons, never came close to contending for another MVP. After injury mismanagement, no excuses 2016, OKC destined to have one of the most difficult title runs after knocking off 67-win San Antonio, unofficially retiring Tim Duncan Game 6, going up 3-1 to 73-win Golden State, the disastrous meltdown, team built with big strong bodies, elite defense, but the lack of shooting caused their own demise. Ultimately, KD and Russ both didn't perform to standards when closing time mattered. Leading to free agency, super duper team on steroids. It's one thing to form a team with other stars, but to join the most successful regular season team ever seen, only to get 2 free rings, a top 3 player in the game, added to an already title caliber team. Dubs already won with Draymond, Clay, and Steph before season started. Anybody and everybody with a reasonable brain knew Golden State would win it all. Many might argue rings are rings at the end of the day. No matter how it's won, the context and situation absolutely matters. The terms of difficulty heading into the season when nobody truly had a clue which team would be the last one standing, just like the 2011 Mavs or 2023 Nuggets. Many picked against them, thought they were going to choke before the conference finals, only to silence the critics. In terms of difficulty, Durant's 2017 and 18 years, given the all-time talent level and help from a super established core core capable of sweeping their way in the conference finals without him in 2019, there's a reason why franchise greats treated like gods Hakeem Olajuwon and Dirk Nowitzki truly earned their championships the hard way, overcame deficits from their backs against the ropes when times got tough. Both could have teamed up with other superstars, leaving their teammates and franchise behind when there's still a chance to win titles. Keep in mind, OKC very capable of winning a ring with Durant and Westbrook, being a 55-win team, just a couple bricks, turnovers, and bad possession game 6. Adjustments could have been made. OKC simply could have had one of the most historical runs all time, surpassing the 95 Rockets and 2011 Mavs had KD been the one to retire Duncan. Beating a 67-win team round 2 doesn't get talked about enough, stopped the best regular season team if he hadn't choked, and stopped LeBron from winning a title in Cleveland. That would have been way more impressive and respected than the 2 Golden State titles by far. Imagine Dirk teaming up in San Antonio with Duncan after getting beat by them in 2010, or Hakeem pairing with Sean Kemp and Gary Payton after falling in 93. KD simply found the easy way out. Nobody faults him for wanting to leave the Thunder, but could have joined Boston or Washington, other good squads. At least when Bron left Cleveland, he came back and won. OKC seems to be in Durant's past. They now have a young promising roster with superstar SGA having a chance to do what KD couldn't with the franchise. Durant even admits not much has changed. By 2019, it looked clear the Dubs would become the first team to three-peat since Kobe and Shaq's Lakers, but feeling the ring rust, unmotivated many nights, even after blowing an ugly 31-point lead, Pat Bev getting to his head. Momentarily, one of the most forgotten Savage Durant quotes.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Proceeded to play his very best basketball up until Game 5 of the Houston series. Jordan-esque numbers, 39 points, nights out from every angle of the floor, absolutely took over. Left Lou Will and Pat Bev humbled and speechless, marveling at his greatness. 2 easy wins over Houston. Durant proving to Harden who's truly the best scorer in the game. The non-contact injury had everyone holding their breath. Golden State kept his status a mystery day to day. When clear, he had no business coming back, allowing the Splash Bros to go nuclear, ending the CP3 Rockets era. Durant cheered from the couch. The team looked excellent without him. Questions linger whether Golden State truly needed KD. If they three-peated without him, a banged-up Clay, missed parts of the Toronto series. Down 3-1, KD decided to come back, hobbled on one leg, led to the worst possible outcome, a real Achilles tear, set to miss the entire 2020 season. All year long, the free agency talks, many weren't sold he signed back after Draymond told him to his face, "We don't need you." Of course, feelings were hurt, left a hostile taste, realizing deep down he needed to get out of that franchise's shadows. Had Clay not tear his ACL after looking like Game 6 Clay, many believed Golden State even without Durant would have won the series. Took his talents to Brooklyn, following the disgruntled Kyrie after a brutal end to Boston. From a rebuilding franchise with likable players, called to extend buddy DeAndre Jordan, starting him over the better Jared Allen, to getting rid of the solid Kenny Atkinson, handpicking Steve Nash, a former great player and Golden State consultant. With no coaching experience, Nash pretty much the pushover coach, scapegoat if the team were to fail, got all the blame instead of quickly realizing the distractions and non-stop drama surrounding teammate Kyrie. If KD was truly realistic and fully serious about winning titles, building culture, he asked to get rid of him before things got super ugly to the max. If Kyrie was secretly the biggest KD hater the whole time, he would have done exactly the same things he actually did, from taking personal absences, getting rid of the young core that helped rebuild the team, to signing another disgruntled attitude star in Harden. The Big Three's lack of game play, the biggest downfall, the biggest joke of any Big Threes, an absolute travesty of a disgusting tenure of Brooklyn, an epic failure of all failures, pathetic, shameful, and wasteful. The team was supposed to be just as good as KD's Warriors, with a chance to be the best offense the league has ever seen, only for the three together to be barely seen. A hamstring injury plus thigh contusion, missed more than half the season. Harden once again carried the heavy load with an incompetent Irving and injury-prone KD, only for James to pull his hammy. Despite all the chaos, Brooklyn's still good enough to finish one game behind Philly for the 1 spot. We'll get to that in a bit. All seem healthy, finally clicking together. Before Harden's opening seconds injury, Game 1 Milwaukee, KD and Kyrie both destroyed the Bucks' first 2 games. But then absolute travesty brick shows Joe Harris, went 1 of 11, a potential dagger, having the lead a chance to go up 3-0 only for teammate Kyrie to get his ankles clamped by Giannis. We all know Kyrie ain't coming back from injuries like that, having a history of low pain tolerance already. With all the pressure to deliver shorthanded, dropped a masterful 48 on a healthy Bucks. Coach Nash squeezed him for dear life. Just as excellent Game 7, fought to the very end. Had the shot just been a little further, we talking about eventual champions. The road to the title, a less talented Hawks plus CP in both super winnable series. Shoes too big to fill. If it wasn't for all the stars' absence, the team would have got the #1 seed, wouldn't have to play Milwaukee till the conference finals, but that's too bad. Failed communications amongst the players and management, angry Harden saying adios after Durant went down again, missed weeks, Kyrie still to no avail, Ben Simmons, the supposed savior, third option, ended up shorting all the Nets' future options, swept and contained by the more physical Celtics from demanding a trade. Teams weren't willing to give up Scotty Barnes or Jaylen Brown for a superstar in Durant's magnitude. Both the two had to watch their former teams matched up in the finals. Golden State won again without KD, officially proving Draymond correct. Closing the Curry vs. Durant argument for good. Not feeling wanted, finally got his wish. After Kyrie gone, both played well, could have ran it back, likely gotten further. Irving's missed playoffs with Dallas, Durant gets hurt with Phoenix in warm-ups, missed the first 6 games, played 3, came back, then missed 12, 8 regular season contests out of a possible 26, not enough chemistry, then Chris Paul went down in the playoffs, $30 million on the sideline, a disgruntled Ayton simply quit on the team, even adding KD to the squad, a key rotational player still quitting and whining. Durant's presence simply not enough to change cultures, get the team together and focus on basketball. Instead of all that drama nonsense, played terrible half of the Nuggets series, looked fatigued, 8 total games played with CP. Everywhere KD goes, either he gets hurt or the other big name players simply can't play for whatever reason. Starting out in the Bradley Beal era, from getting reps in preseason to all of a sudden a back injury, a guy who's missed 74 total contests each of the last 2 seasons, Durant carrying all by himself early season, led the Spurs game for 47 minutes 58 seconds before this absolute travesty of a possession. Whether you think it's a foul or not, bad defensive habits and lack of execution, still an unexcusable loss. No matter how you look at it, having some of the most talented group of teammates imaginable, from 3 MVPs in Curry, Harden, and Westbrook, other great stars Booker, Clay, Draymond, CP, now Bradley Beal, who never seems to heal. Looking at the stacked rosters year after year, seems like he should have won at least 5 or 6 rings by now, but nothing to show outside of the 2 Golden State titles. Some might say circumstances out of his control with the injuries, but 2016, 2022, and 2023 absolutely in his control, just happened to play bad in big moments. According to his haters on Twitter, a divided opinion on his greatness, from never truly being #1 when it seemed like he'd be the one to take the torch from LeBron. Many skeptics don't believe he was ever better than LeBron. Even the last couple years, when James missing time with injury, Durant himself missed even more time. From being #2 in the draft, would have been consensus #1 pick more than half the time. Briefly in discussions for #1 player after the 2017 finals performance, but clearly having elite staff, too loaded of a squad to truly be challenged. Curry always the driver of the team regardless of finals MVPs, never truly being the best player in the world, a crown only the all-time greats can get. From being overshadowed by LeBron to copying his super team player empowerment style, then surpassed by Steph, his own injuries ruined an all-time 2019 playoff masterpiece, teammates couldn't be healthy for him come 2021, surpassed by Giannis. If Greek Freak ends up winning another title when Durant's still in the league, Giannis likely surpasses him too in the all-time rankings, having the golden chance to prove he can win on his own team. Some Golden State fans never fully embraced him to this day, leaving Brooklyn in hostile terms, having teammates constantly not suiting up regularly for injuries or personal reasons, not even 15 regular season games with Phoenix, early signs of the same things repeating. Is it just bad luck, bad karma for joining Golden State? 4 years ago, it seemed like KD was approaching Hakeem Olajuwon greatness territory, and just outside top 10 all time. Since then, his player rankings remains the same. Durant might never truly be top 10. All the awards, achievements, total numbers, fully perfect on paper, plus the untimely injuries of 2019 and his Bigfoot 2021 easily took away 2 more titles coming his way. Durant always seems to be unsatisfied, but nonetheless, one of the most unique, dramatic, interesting careers from any all-time great we've seen, his basketball legacy will be remembered a lot more differently than other great NBA stars. 35 years old and counting, the last 20% of his NBA career remains what he decides to make out of it.